Hello, good evening, and welcome to yet another very powerful session we're going to be dealing with tonight. Uh, this is something I'm a bit passionate about because I was once here. I was once here. When you get into something that you felt you walked into by purpose, you decided this was it. This is something I love. This is something I want to drive. This is something I want to run. But as the bills begin to grow, because that is one of the things that happen, bills keeps growing. As the bills begin to grow and the inflow from that 9 to 5 that you love is no longer meeting its capacity to take care of the bills, some kind of strength begins to come up. So the person asking this question seems to be in that same situation. I have a 9 to 5 job that I love. There is no paying the bills. What can I do? You know, I want to presume that this person understands me enough and he knows that my first message will be, is this a job that you love? And this person has gone ahead to say, I have a 9 to 5 job that I love. Means this person is working in this area of passion. He's working in a field that resonates with his passion and his gifting. He's doing something he enjoys doing. But still, this stuff is not paying his bills. And of course, you know that the bills have to be paid. The bills have to be paid. So the question right now is, what can he do? What can he do? Because the bills must be paid. So we're going to be diving into that. Before we do it, I will always want to help us see products and services that we have that could be of help, that could be of relevance to helping you navigate. Because for me, I would say if we resolve, as we engage this, if we resolve that this person must begin to think about a business or a proposal, about a business or an idea to begin to put his resources into, it's going to need these books. Because the truth is, he's going to begin to think, how profitable is this idea? Even though I will not have all of the time and energy to put to it because I'm doing a 9 to 5, if I have to get into this, how profitable it is, who are those that will be able to help me manage it? What are the processes it needs to get through to the markets and be able to make the necessary impact so I can have clients and customers exchanging values for what I have put out there in the world as a marketplace. So there is a lot to be talked about. And this person is going to also begin to talk about, how do I raise funding for this business? How do I raise funding for this idea? Of course, we have also dealt with that. So this book answers it. We're not going to take much time talking about all of this. Then finally, if you are still among those seeking for job, you need to get a profitable, high-paying job. Of course, you're going to need this book. Just follow that link and reach out to us on how you can get this book so you can be among the first to get it. And if you're getting it before it even gets out of print, you're going to get it cheaper compared to how others are going to get it when it's already in the market. So feel free to chat with us. Just follow that link. That link will bring you to our WhatsApp conversation where you can leave messages for us. So right now, we're going to go straight into dealing with this question. We're going to go straight into dealing with this question. I have a 9 to 5 job that I love, but it's not paying the bills. Everything I want to do going forward, I always want to start it with helping people find out who they are. So that is my first question today. Who are you? Have you found yourself? Have you found yourself? Because if you have found yourself, I want to believe that the you that you have found led you into the job that you're doing. That's why you could say you are enjoying the job. By taking a deeper look at yourself, you're going to see that an average human, according to research, has nothing less than 500 abilities. Sometimes some are more pronounced than the others. It's obvious that your ability or your talent that you have put out in the market is not the most productive of what you have. So you need to sit down and take a deeper look at yourself, get a better understanding of yourself, and see how you can connect to be able to do the best that you can. Because through this, you have no option. You have to put out the best of you to the market. You need the best of you to be in the market, because if the best of you is in the market, I assure you it's going to bring the profits that you need. First take a deeper look at yourself, reappraise yourself, then ask yourself another question. Why exactly are you engaged in this job? Because truth is, every job is not to be engaged on the basis of whether or not it is paying high. Because sometimes the reason why we struggle with what we do is because we've not clarified our why. You could get into a particular job for the purpose of wanting to learn through the ropes. You know that this is my sacrificial years. Today you sit down under Steve Harris, you see the wealth of value that comes out under him. In reading his history, I saw he had to work with Fela Durotoye for as small as 10,000 naira per month. So this could just be that time of your life. So there might be need for you to find a way to manage through this process, because your why is clear. I'm actually here to learn through the rope. I'm actually here to collect some things that may not be valued monetarily. So in doing this, you may want to find an alternative way to taking care of your bills, because through this, you want to be able to learn what you have to learn. It's like someone who's saying, I'm volunteering. I'm volunteering to do something that I love, and you're complaining that what's coming out from it is not enough to pay your bills. At that stage of your life, what you're actually learning, what you're actually doing is to learn through the process. Then another question you must answer: what exactly do you want to earn? What exactly do you want to earn? Once you answer this question, you're going to come back to ask yourself, can I earn this within this place that I'm in? Can this job help me to earn this that I've decided that I'm going to earn? If your answer is no, then you're going to begin to ask yourself, how can I attract this funding outside this job? Do I need to renegotiate my time on this job so I can do less time here and be able to deploy my time and energy somewhere else? Are there investment opportunities I can look out to? Are there professionals I can work with to say, oh, I have this money I've been able to save. I needed to put it on this investment. I trust you, and I'm going to be, so you can begin to earn some extra revenues. So if you have asked yourself, how much do you want to earn? And you also ask yourself, how can this job help me to earn it? And you find out that the job doesn't have the capacity to help you to earn it, you have to begin to think of alternative ways of attracting this funding. Because through this, the bills have to be paid. Oh, if I'm married, can I begin to see how we can engage on some other things to be powered by my wife? Are there stuff we can begin to put in our time and energy into to be managed by somebody else and all of that. So you're thinking, why? Because the reason why you're thinking about all of this is because, according to you, you're already working in a place that you love. You're already doing what you love. Because my take is that if you are engaged in something you love, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time, especially if you do it diligently. It's going to end up taking care of you and empowering you to begin to take care of others. But if your focus is on what is coming as it relates to finances, you may begin to get distracted and not put in the best of your efforts. Then another question you just want to ask yourself: Are there, is there a pathway within this organization that can help me earn better than I'm earning now, so I can be able to meet my financial bills and responsibility? If there are pathways, then you want to begin to ask yourself, how do I begin to get promoted? How do I begin to get promoted? What do I need to do? For me, the best strategy for getting promotion is to outperform where you are. Once you outperform your present role, it becomes obvious to everybody that this person needs to go higher. A lot of people work in an organization and all they tell themselves is that that's not my job. This is not my job. For as long as you're working in an organization and you focus on doing your job and will never do what is not your job function, you can never be spotted for promotion. What is excellence? Excellence is simply excelling your expectation, excelling the expectation of people. You have been asked to do this job. If you do this job very well, somebody said slaves do the best of what they are asked to do. But free people go as far as outperforming what they have been asked to do. That's why you must have to understand, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the contribution? What's the big picture of my work? So if I understand what a big picture of my work is, I can even help to achieve that big picture going beyond my little space. Once you begin to outperform your current job role, everybody, including nature, begins to think about pushing you up to the role where you are already covering. So never tell yourself within a job space that this is not my job. I always tell people, every one of us may not be entrepreneurs, but you must work with an entrepreneurial mindset. What is an entrepreneurial mindset? An entrepreneur doesn't close when it's time to close. An entrepreneur closes when the job is done. As small as that mindset, a lot of great people I ever engage with, you hear them say, when I started doing that job, I became the first to resume and the last to close. It eventually pays off. It eventually pays off. There is always a pathway, except the job or the entire organization doesn't have a pathway that can help you achieve higher pay. By then you may begin to want to think outside of the organization, because no matter your efforts, you can't really grow. And that's not the right place to work. That's why I asked, why exactly are you here? You could be in some places just for the purpose of coming to learn how to do this subsequently. I'm the one that calls paid job apprenticeship with salary. I tell everybody, go into every paid opportunity with a learning mentality. When you go there as a student, you come back out of that place as a teacher. You come back as a teacher. But when you go there and all you're focused on is how much are they paying me, before you know it, your attitude is going to begin to reflect what dominates your heart. Your attitude is going to begin to reflect what dominates your heart. I remember as I was leaving the bank, my manager then told me, he said, if you ever choose to come back, we will meet at the management level. because I never worked, I never behaved like the role I was employed to be. I behaved and I worked better than my role. Some of the people we work together may be watching this. Counter it if what I'm saying is not the truth. I performed better than my role. So never work within the confine of this is my job. This is my job. If your MD chooses to say I'm going on a vacation, can he boast about, even though this guy is a lower cadre staff, can we move him up to oversee this? Because he has demonstrated leadership. So you must demonstrate leadership wherever you work. And within that organization, most time there are always leverages you can capitalize on to be able to attract and achieve the financial goals. It baffles me. It baffles me that sometimes you see very low cadre staff in some organizations because they have been there over the years. They could cope with the little they are earning and still be sometimes able to achieve more in life than those who have been earning high but have been indisciplined. So sometimes you may just want to apply some level of discipline to your lifestyle. But I was sharing with somebody the other day, I said, a lot of the people that it seems like financially I'm a bit more stable than them, most times I really don't earn more than them. But if there's anything I know about myself, is the fact that I live a very simple lifestyle, that my expense is always very low. My expense is always very low. There's what is called the job principle. When you can't increase the income, do everything to reduce the expense. Once you reduce the expense, whatever goes out of your pocket becomes smaller. Then you're able to maximize what you're earning. Then, like I said when we started, identify other gifts you have that can create alternative sources of income for you. Because an average person has over 500 gifts or over 500 expressions of talents. So begin to look at some other aspects of your person, and you're going to find that there are some other things that you can do and do excellently well. PK said something yesterday that I want to wrap up this conversation with. He said, we are all slaves to something. Ultimate freedom is having the liberty to determine what enslaves us. You've chosen to give yourself to that job, and you have the freedom to move whenever you want to. You are not enslaved by the job. You've decided to be a slave because I enjoy this. For everything you decided to give yourself to, you decided to enslave yourself to it. And you are at liberty to determine that I'm out of this. So quit complaining, do some of the things we have shared. And if any of this doesn't work, consider taking the bold step, pitching your tent somewhere else. Of course, there are also steps to leverage on to step out of this. Because I also know that a lot of people are choked up in their workplace seeking for opportunity to find a landing point somewhere else. I think it all starts from the mind. It all starts from the mind. I've seen people who have gotten so stuck in life that they believe that for me to leave a particular job, I must be getting another job. There is always work. There may not be jobs. I think from the perspective of being that person creating the job. And I believe that we all have the capacity to do that. That's why I call everywhere you work, you're actually an apprentice being paid a salary. If you face that job without perspective, you can't be able to pull out of that job at any point in time and begin to do some of the things that connect to the job roles you were doing while you were on that job. So I believe with this short exchange of our engagement, you will be able to pick out something that would help you. you would have been able to pick out something that will help you. Please put it to use. Put it to use. Don't just listen to build up your knowledge base. The only reason I communicate is that I want people to take action. So act on this and share your feedback with us. Have a lovely night rest. Let's do this again tomorrow. Bye bye. If you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel so you can always get notified as we share further content. If you're watching on Facebook, like our page, share the video, get others to pick one or two knowledge or nuggets from what we have shared today. So let's do this again tomorrow as we have some other questions to be answered tomorrow. Have a lovely night rest. Bye-bye. Oh, there seems to be a technical problem. Oh, you're gonna keep me here? Okay, he seems to be having a challenge, unable to end the broadcast. Okay, while we wait to be able to do this, if you have a comment, please leave a comment for us. We will be able to respond to your comments right away. You know, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do just that. Then, if you are yet to order for our books and materials, I will be showing you how you can do that right away. This is a book we're writing to help people get jobs. Without it, get employed because we believe you can. There are jobs available seeking your expertise. Get employed. You know, if you are one of those trying to build businesses, this is a book that can help you to access funding for your business. Then if you have an idea, you're struggling, you don't know whether this is the best idea to run with or the best idea to, or some are very good, some ideas are very good, they can best be kept under the pillow. You know, find out by engaging with these books so you don't have to find out after 2 or 3 years of wasted energy and efforts. So let's do this again tomorrow. Have a lovely night rest. Bye-bye.